All right, it's another episode of the podcast here, and today we are at Arthouse Memphis, and I am with.
Keith Krass.
And tell us a little bit about why we're here and what's going on.
Well, we're here to talk about arts and stuff.
Cool.
I hope.
So, Arthouse Memphis is a T-shirt shop, basically.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about what you have in here and what's going
We carry a large variety of strange and unusual T-shirts. Some of them we find in thrift stores or Goodwills. Some of them are old shirts of mine. Some of them are actually designs by local artists. And it's just a big variety of strange and unusual T-shirts. Also, we like to carry the local artist stuff because then we can make money for them, and it's sort of a way to support the art scene here in Memphis.
What local artists do you have?
Well, at the moment, I've got local comic book artist and filmmaker Mike McCarthy. I have a young man, 15-year-old, named Spaz. He does kind of, street art. There's some stuff by me in here. There is a couple of designs by Lauren Holterman. Do you know Lauren?
I know the name.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She's a really good designer. She did a lot of the poster art for the Time Warp drive-ins
Oh, yeah.
that have been going on lately. Yeah, and her stuff's great. So really, I don't have a lot at the moment, but we are a pretty new shop. So
how long have you been? How long have you been here?
we are coming up on our 1-year anniversary.
And before that, were you selling T-shirts or was it?
Actually, no. Before that, I've been working on and off in the video production business for quite a while. It's something I've been into since I was really young. I'd say I first got video equipment to edit with when I was probably around 12.
Oh wow.
So it's something I've been doing for a long time. But nowadays, everyone has a camera in their phone, and they pretty much try to make their own videos. So it's not the kind of occupation you can really live on unless you do weddings every day, which is not
I know.
not my forte. So
No, I turned. Oh God. Yeah.
yeah, I was looking for another way to make a little extra income, and I was thinking to talk to my family a little bit, and they were like, let's do something together. And my sister makes websites for people, and a lot of people are talking about promotional items for their businesses, and
Yeah.
T-shirts came up, and we got a T-shirt printer and a vinyl cutter and a few other heat presses, things like that. And yeah, now we're busting out shirts for all different types of people, and then I wanted to open up a shop to show some of this cool local Memphis art stuff.
That's pretty cool. I think I first became aware of your shirts in this, here from Facebook, and then I'd seen a couple of pictures of cool shirts that you had, and then actually I think the first time I got to see them in person was at the Time Warp Drive-In back in October.
Right.
So how did you get hooked up doing that?
Mike McCarthy, mainly. Probably, I met Mike a couple years ago at the Buccaneer, and I told him I'd love to collaborate with him on a video. So I edited a film with him called Goddamn Godard. It was a short. And around then is when I got my first T-shirt printer, and I wanted to put as many of Mike's cool comic book pics on T-shirts as I could get my hands on. And he gave me a huge, barrel full of scraps, stuff that he's drawn and all of his old comic book art. And I love his work, so I just started putting them on T-shirts, started selling them, and me and Mike have been friends ever since. And whenever he has an event, I'm there.
That's cool. He's got, let's see, he's definitely got the Metropolis robot with the Memphis above it, which is, that's his, right?
That is his. I spotted that on his GorillaMonster.com website. I think they made that because they were showing the movie Metropolis in Memphis somewhere, and it was sort of a little advertisement. And just the word Memphis and the way it's written, it just looked cool. And a lot of people ask me, what's the connection? And there is no connection. It's just a cool looking design.
That's pretty cool. What other shirts does he have in here? I know he's got the Sid Vicious Taco Bell shirt, right?
Mike made a few specifically for the shop. He did a Sid Vicious Taco Bell Never Mind the Burritos shirt, because the first place the Sex Pistols played in Memphis has been turned into a Taco Bell, and it's just reminiscent, and it definitely represents the Memphis punk scene. Then he did a David Bowie shirt from the first time Bowie ever played in Memphis, and on the backs of these shirts are all the dates of when David Bowie or the Sex Pistols played in America or played in Memphis, really. So, he does kind of Memphis-themed stuff that's pretty cool.
That's really cool. So besides the Time Warp Drive-In stuff, where else do you set up your shop? The mobile shop.
The mobile shop. We are regularly invited to go to Cooper Young Night Out, which is the first Thursday of every month on the corner of Cooper Young over by the gazebo. We hit up Trolley Night on Main Street downtown. They're very nice and let artists set up for free. Time Warp Drive-In, like I said. Other than that, it's sort of just we pop up where we're invited. Yeah. So
you can also, besides what you've got in your collection already, you also do custom T-shirts for people.
I do, yeah. Anybody comes in and has an idea for a shirt they want made, and we'll make it for you. We can do custom stuff. And also, if anybody comes in and has a bunch of really kick-ass designs that would look great on T-shirts, I'll be the guy who starts their line for them. And we've even gone as far as to offer a free website where people can sell their designs, and I print them and I get a cut for that, and they get a cut as the artist, so everybody gets a little piece, and it's just a really cool way to make some extra money if you're an artist.
That's really cool. So I sent you a design for the cover of my book, The Checkout, which is available on Amazon.com.
Plug, yeah.
So I sent you that. So walk me through a little bit of the process. So once I email that to you and you look at it and say, yeah, I can do that, what kind of happens then?
Yours is pretty straightforward. I think it's really cool. Actually, now that I look at that shirt, I almost want to do another version of it. Yeah? Because if you look at it, it has a name tag hanging there in the middle of it. I could have easily printed...
Right.
The
little lanyard.
The whole thing. It could have gone up over your shoulder. It would have been very artsy. Very cool. But yeah, man, it's like with digital printers, it's super sweet. If you hand me a nice quality JPEG or PSD, I can put it on a shirt and it'll look exactly like what you drew or what you gave me. So yeah.
So these are really high quality. I mean, especially I'm wearing the Checkout shirt right now, and this thing is held up over, I don't know, a dozen washings maybe, easily, and it looks almost like it did the day that I got it. Sometimes when you get shirts like this done by other people or even by like online things, they just, I don't know, you can feel like it's like a big sticker on your chest.
Exactly.
Or something like that.
Well, that's the difference between digital printing and screen printing. Screen printing feels like you have a big giant blotch of paint on your chest. Yeah. It's thick, it's hard on you. Digital printing, it's the ink goes directly into the fabric, so it's just as soft as the shirt after you've washed it a couple times. So yeah.
That's cool. What do you think is your like top selling shirt? Yeah.
Anything with Memphis on it, people love.
Yeah.
Between the Metropolis Memphis sells well. I did a Memphis shirt that it's like a mummy holding a Gibson guitar, scaring some 1930s looking actress. It's sort of like a remake poster of one of those old mummy movies. In the background is the pyramid. I designed it way before it became Bass Pro or whatever it's going to become. So yeah, people love Memphis stuff, of course. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, they look good.
So how did you get into actually doing? Have you done shirts before, or was this kind of a new thing you had to learn? Or
I learned it. It took me a good year before I got it down, because these are digital printers that hook into computers, and there's a lot of there's a lot to it you have to figure out. And it was tough. It was tough for about a year. I was printing some really crappy shirts, and actually those I'm like I just cut out the prints, and it's still kind of cool to look at, so I've actually been stapling them onto canvases and hanging them on walls.
Oh, cool.
Because a lot of these shirts you just can't wear for whatever odd reason, so they've become wall art. So I'm trying to recycle.
Yeah.
And we also, a lot of the shirts that we use are recycled. We go to Goodwills and buy soft used shirts, and we'll print on them just because they feel great. because they're used.
I was going to ask you about that because it's not just necessarily like your standard Hanes T-shirt that you have. I mean, you have every kind of
Huge.
yeah, every different type of shirt I've ever seen: men's, women's, long sleeve, short sleeves.
Yeah.
And if somebody, let's say somebody wants, one of these shirts on a specific type or a design on a specific type of shirt, is that something you do too?
I can get my hands on some brands.
Yeah.
Some probably difficult, but we can get our hands on. Luckily, there's a T-shirt supplier in Memphis, which is pretty sweet because actually there's only a couple of these in the country.
Oh, wow.
And I can get Gildans and Bellas. Girls like Bellas, like the baby dolls.
Yeah.
And some Hanes, but yeah, I mean, if you have a specific color or style you want, I can get my hands on it.
What's been the most difficult part about doing all this?
Getting the word out
Yeah.
that we're here, because we are way off the beaten path in a way. I mean, we're very close to like a very cool community, Cooper Young, but we are not on Cooper Young, or we're on South Cox, off Central, over by Central Barbecue, across the street from this new animal hospital. So we're on a weird little strip. So it's been hard to get people to come over, but we're doing okay. So we're gonna stick it out.
What's been, do you think, the most effective way of getting the word out?
It's a good question. Word of mouth is always nice. I think probably the best way is when I go set up a booth somewhere and hand out flyers the whole day.
Yeah.
I mean, even if somebody doesn't buy a shirt, I hand them a flyer to where we are, tell them to come check out the new store. So that really, I mean, a lot of people rely solely on social media, but I find that is not enough. You got to get out there and really hand out actual flyers.
That's one thing I kind of learned too is, I promote my book and all that stuff all day long on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff, and occasionally see a sale from it, but if I can actually get out and talk to people and put a book in their hand and shoot the shit with them, it seems like it helps out.
Absolutely.
Immensely.
Mm-hmm.
So do you also have online ordering, or is it just shop only?
We do, yeah. You can go to arthouseclothing.com, and there you can actually order a large variety of stuff that I carry here in the shop. And also you can pick, again, your shirt size, color. We go from extra small all the way up to 5X. I mean, seriously, you can get anything you want. We got long sleeve, we got hoodies. I think there's even a little button you can click, and you could make a coffee mug out of the design. It's like
that's cool.
It's endless supply of crap. So yeah, go check it out. And
is that something that you do here in the shop? Is the coffee mugs and that kind of stuff? Or?
No, I don't actually make those here, but I have a little factory out in the hidden away where the Oompa Loompas are doing shit. So
yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
So besides doing Arthouse Memphis, you have a multitude of creative things kind of going on, right? You also
at the moment, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you got. What else you got going
on? Well, when the Time Warp Drive-In thing started, it was really cool that we had a little film fest going on to show these classic drive-in movies. But then Mike McCarthy decided, hey, let's do this thing called Muff. And I was stricken by the name. It boggled my scrotum. I was excited.
Sure.
And then I found out it meant Memphis Underground Film Festival, which I've always been a fan of underground films. I moved to New York for 5 years just because I was drawn into the scene, like the weirdos, Nick Zed and Richard Kern and all those guys out there. They were making their own movies, without any permission or any funding or anybody telling them what to do. And that excited me. And now Mike's trying to start it here, and I think it's great. I think Memphis has always needed an underground film festival. I don't think Indie Memphis is enough, and I don't think On Location Memphis is enough, if they're even around anymore. I don't know.
I agree. Yeah, I totally agree with you there.
Yeah, so that excited me, and I was like, I got to get in on this. So me and my friend Woodsy made a short film the other night, and it went off pretty well, and so we're going to keep going with it, and it's been a blast. It's a total trip. So we're going to keep making these shorts and probably eventually splice them all together into something even bigger. And yeah, man, it's cool. I think the community is starting to really come together.
How many shorts have you done here in Memphis?
This would be my first short with a plot.
Yeah.
I have done many I guess, video DJ nights where I would show up with all these crazy visuals that I've made over the years. They're loops, they're chicks dancing in weird outfits, go-go girls, they're animated GIFs that I love that I corrupted somehow or added something to. Just all kinds of visuals, and I could show up with my MacBook and they'd give me some money and I would mix live to the DJ, not even knowing what he's going to play, but I would bring so much variety of different weird little loops, and I would just label them in genre. Like one folder would be nothing but songs about love, so that'd be like Hearts and Crap. Another folder would be songs about smoking weed, and I had like a gif of Sarah Palin smoking a fatty with her hands going up and down, like she's gangsta.
That's awesome.
So and that always looked good. So yeah, man, I did visuals for a long time, but this would be my first something that actually kind of makes sense.
That's pretty good. The style of it is very heavily visual. I mean, I would assume it was shot almost entirely on green screen.
It was pretty much.
And really, it's got a kind of a cartoonish, kind of 8-bit video game almost feel to it.
I hate reality.
Yeah.
Whenever I can shoot something not in a real location, I'm kind of a green screen whore, because you can really go crazy. You can go sci-fi, you can go fantasy, and really anything's possible when you take out the background and put in something, whatever you want. So, I mean, it looks cheesy, it looks corny, but I think it's funny that way.
Right. Yeah. Would you consider doing like a full length kind of like that?
Yeah, absolutely. All these shorts that I'm making are actually ideas that I've had, mulling around in my head for a very long time. And if somebody said they liked the short and wanted to see it as a feature and helped get it done, man, I would do that in a heartbeat.
That's awesome. So you did all the visual effects and the graphic, all of the special effects and everything for the short?
Yeah, they were, some of them weren't that special, but I did them.
How long does it take to? Because it was 2 minutes, I believe, or was it?
Yeah, the rule for the Memphis Underground Film Festival is, I mean, this might change, but it was no longer than 2 minutes. Your entry had to be. So we packed in as much story as we could in 2 minutes.
Yeah. How long does it take to do all those effects and something like that?
That project took me 3 days to edit and 1 day to shoot. So what I found was a smart thing to do was go ahead and edit a lot of the effects and a lot of the scene without the actors, and then insert the actors. So yeah, I kind of knew exactly what was going to happen, and I showed up on set with my computer, and the video already there. And instead of having a storyboard, I had the video, and I would scan to the next scene and be like, all right, you're fighting this skeleton, so I need you to stand just like this, see? And I would show the actor what the skeleton was about to do to them, so it at least gave them some point of reference on how to react.
That's some George Lucas shit right there, man.
Fucking hey, man, I love George Lucas. He's a genius.
Everybody loves George Lucas. So if somebody wants to see, the film is called World War Horror.
World War Horror was our first, starring our superhero. Her name is Brittany Bombshell, and as her adventures continue, the titles will change. But I went with World War Horror on the first one. A lot of people are getting rubbed the wrong way by that title, but I still think it's funny.
How can you be rubbed the wrong way by horror? Come on.
I know. Well, I have been rubbed the wrong way by horror, and she charged me too much.
So if people want to go see this, it's online, or where can they see it at?
Yeah, if you go to Lens Crack Productions on Vimeo, I think we just started our little Vimeo page. This is a very new company. But we are Lens Crack Productions. I guess the name is sort of in reference to our movies are like smoking crack on film or something. I don't know. But yeah, if you go to Lens Crack Productions on Vimeo, you can see our first feature and also a commercial I made for the little t-shirt shop.
Oh, cool. One thing we were talking about earlier before we started recording, and one reason I mentioned too, the reason I'm trying to do this podcast and get people kind of mixing around is, especially, it seems in Memphis. I mean, I don't know, I've never lived anywhere else, so maybe it's like this everywhere. But there's so many people that are making films and doing art and everything, and there's just not a lot of people talking to each other and working with each other.
Yeah, it's not just Memphis.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are very standoffish about their art sometimes, and collaboration can be hard to find. It's not just Memphis.
Yeah. What do you think needs to happen in order to kind of gel people together a little more?
I think Muff is a good start because there's no entry fee, and it's at the drive-in. I mean,
Yeah.
the stuff you can get away with at the drive-in. Come on, I didn't even realize until I started going, because I'm not really a drive-in kid.
Yeah.
But I'm like in love now.
It's actually really amazing.
All the things that you can't do in the movie theater. So it's kind of a party.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's another way to get this party started. Party of artists together to talk and work. It's a great hangout.
Yeah.
So I think the Muff thing's a good start. Yeah, man. Facebook's okay. I mean, people talk on Facebook, so I'd say start trolling Facebook for artists, not for Poo-Tang. Be cool.
Well, you could find some artistic Poo-Tang. You never know. So where can people go to find out more about your shop and your movies and all that?
Yeah, you can go to arthouseclothing.com, because you can see a lot of the designs and even buy them. Let's see, the Facebook thingy. We are, the facebook.com/Arthouse Memphis would be us on Facebook if you like that sort of thing. And Lens Crack Productions on Vimeo, like I said, be a place to see our movie. Yeah, man, I think those are some good places to start.
What have you got lined up for the future?
Our short that we showed, World War Horror, got such a nice response that we are working on the next one that we're going to show at the next drive-in, which I have the date right here. Let's see. So each drive-in night has a theme. The last theme was sort of sexploitation, so that's why our hero was a stripper prostitute who turns into a superhero. The next theme is Hell on Wheels. It's all about cars, car movies. We're showing American Graffiti, Two Lane Blacktop, Bullet, and Thunder Road. So we're going to have another short for that one. You should come check out. It's called Punk Points.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's really great. And so is the plan to keep going with this character for a while, or?
Yeah, she's in it. Oh, by the way, the date for this is Saturday, June 28th, at the Summer Drive-In. Yeah. Her name is the character's name is Brittany Bombshell. She'll be back. We are doing a bit of a Death Race 2000 spoof, the original Death Race 2000. So that just kind of gives you a starting point of what you can see.
Do you ever have, do you ever kind of have your characters and your actors wearing some of your shirts? Do you try to do the synergy?
You know what? I'm going to do that actually because, the other night we tried to film some zombies. Or not the other night, yesterday we tried to film some zombies, but it rained too hard. But I'd brought actually some of my shirt creations. Some of them said Memphis on them too. I thought it'd be cool if the zombies were kind of representing Memphis. I can use my t-shirt printer to actually create these cool costumes. It's a garment printer, so I can, if somebody needs a logo on their chest, like Brittany Bombshell, for example, has an electrified skull with lightning bolts coming off of it, kind of reminiscent of the Death Proof car logo, but this one is it's a little different. But that's her logo. That's her superhero logo. So she's going to wear that shirt in pretty much every scene. And we have a lot of new characters in this thing. So there will be some t-shirts, definitely. That's
pretty cool. So final question here. Speaking of zombies, if the zombie apocalypse ever does happen, are you going to make it, or are you going to...
I doubt it. Seriously.
Would you even want to make it in a world like that? I don't think I would.
Probably not, man. Those movies are always so freaking depressing.
Every time I watch Walking Dead, people, I would do that, and I'd be like, well, I'd be dead the first day.
Me too. I love Walking Dead. I'm a huge fan. I watch it regularly, but I don't see myself making it very far.
No.
I really don't, because I don't know, I'm kind of lazy. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. This was another episode of the podcast right here at the Arthouse Memphis. Make sure you go check out all of those websites, arthousemphisclothing.com. What is it? Cracked Lens Productions?
Lens Crack Productions and arthouseclothing.com. Yeah.
There we go. And if you want to check out anything about my book, you can go to richardaylester.com and Send me a message if you want one of these really badass T-shirts, and I'll get him to make you one.
Yeah, I'll do it.
They're
I'll do it.
quite fantastic. And, yeah. And look for me in the T-shirts all around town anytime you see me. And thanks a lot. This has been a lot of fun.
Thanks.